Good Friday morning. Ron Moore here from the Gondola Docks here at Las Colinas. Hey guys, talk about a great date. I'm just saying. Hey, let me ask you a question. Are you living life strictly by what you see, hear, taste, or feel? Or are you living an exciting life? A life of faith. What does I've been talking about faith for the last 2 weeks now. What does a life of faith look like? By the way, I haven't even begun to exhaust all the teaching of faith, but what does a look of faith look like to you? Well, I'm telling you, if you're having a dull, boring life, God never intended you. Well, just stop it, okay? God never intended for you to have a dull, boring life, just kind of serving God my own weak little way. No, listen, God, if you know the Lord Jesus, God's given you the same power that raised Christ from the dead. And while, no, not every day is going to be, where you have an expression on your face like you just been goosed or something, It's not going to be like that. But even on those down days, listen, you have the hope, you have the joy, And so let's look at a couple of people to kind of describe what a life of faith looks like. Number one was Abraham. When God called him to leave doesn't that sound like a city in Texas? Texas, He called him to leave and go. He said, listen, you go. Basically, he said, listen, you go and I'll tell you where you're going when you get there. Well, what a journey, because, see, he knew the one who had called him on that journey. See, if you know the one who's called you on your journey, whether you're at a law office, at a classroom, construction site, whether you're a painter, like my good buddy Steve Way, who, if you need a paint job, I'm telling you, give him a call. He'll take care of you, a little remodeling and everything too. So, whatever you're doing, man, it's a experience each day of saying, okay, Lord, I'm here. I'm here to be your hands and feet, your legs, your mouthpiece, whatever I need to be today. Man, that's a life on the journey from point A at salvation to point B when we see him face to face. But then Paul said it this way. He said, man, I haven't arrived. He said, but I press on towards the mark of the high calling. So let me ask you, see, if you walked around thinking, hey, I've arrived, listen, let me tell you, you haven't, okay? I see that, and I talk to people all the time. Maybe you've read about athletes that do this. Man, they look back at the glory days, and they're looking back the rest of their life for what happened when they're in their teens or 20s. But I'm telling you what, folks, life is a long journey. And so when you have that attitude, listen, I'm going to press on. By faith, man, I'm going to press on, and I haven't arrived yet, but I'm going to keep pressing on towards the mark of the high calling, and man, I'm going to tear it up, and depending on, I'm not saying everybody's going to be a loudmouth sanguine, okay, I'm not saying that, but I am saying that, boy, according to the way God's made you, man, listen, you can absolutely say, okay, this is the day the Lord's made. I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it. And hey, even on this day, this Friday especially, hey, to say, listen, Lord, I thank you. You've got opportunities for me today to touch somebody's life with your love. This weekend, whatever the case may be, whatever day you're on. See, that's what puts the spunk in your journey as you go about it. Even on those mundane tasks today, say, okay, Lord, this is your day, and just make that choice to rejoice. And I'm telling you, that life of faith, knowing that God is for you, knowing that he is working all things together for your good. When you live that life of faith, I'm telling you what, you're not only going to have the peace and joy and happiness, but you're also going to have that excitement about life. Hey, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you again on Monday. Bye-bye now.